Hello everyone, this is Ponder on Weather. In this update, we've got another big storm brewing as Arctic air filters back in the picture, bringing heavy snow and flooding rains along with it. Good morning everyone, hope everyone's having a fabulous Tuesday out there. I know my kids are off on spring break this week. I can't believe we've actually got college tours planned for today, later on this afternoon. And those that have asked about my corgi puppy out there, she actually turned 7 months just a couple of days ago, and I can't believe she's growing up so fast. She's 21 pounds. Sunny Halo is her name, and for those that that asked about how she's doing fabulous, real energetic, as you can imagine, for a corgi. So she definitely keeps me in shape. So let's take a look at the overall setup for the surface map this morning. We've got some rain showers in and around the Seattle area. It's down to 46 in San Jose, 46 and dry in Los Angeles, back to 34, and kind of with some rain showers in and around Dallas, 18 and Kansas City, and 21 degrees in Sioux Falls. We do have that little disturbance that's down here in the south of South Texas and around the Houston area into San Antonio, around Austin. That's bringing some showers for them. That's actually lifting up north throughout the day and kind of northeast. And this is the system that's actually going to be traveling northeast over the coming days that we're going to be highlighting. And then we also have about 39 degrees up here in parts of the northeast, where they had all the heavier high winds yesterday. Those storms were really packing a punch, and we do have some rain showers into portions of Florida this morning. So let's extend the view and take a look at some of the overall models. I did kind of blow up the overall time and stamp, but a lot of people gave me some feedback and say, hey, I can't really see the date very good. So you should be able to see it clearly now in the bottom left hand corner of the screen. This is about 3 o'clock. I'm in Central Standard Time, so these times are going to be for Central Standard Time because that's where I live. But up here in the Pacific Northwest, we do got some snow showers. This afternoon is going to be breaking out into portions of Oregon, getting into Washington here, as well as into Idaho, back into Montana. There's the disturbance down south that's lifting northeast. So we've got rain still inundating parts of Houston into East Texas, into parts of Louisiana here, and South Arkansas, into North Mississippi as well. And these are going to be bringing sporadic showers in and around Alabama, as well as Georgia here, as this continues going to be lifting off to the northeast. And as it does, it's bringing the rain with it. So there's about 2 o'clock overnight into Wednesday morning, bringing the rain shield along with it in the southeast. It gets up into the Carolinas, into Virginia, West Virginia, all rain in Kentucky. But we do start to see that little transition by the time we get into the overnight hours of some snow breaking out, as we still got the northwest flow up here into the northeast. And yeah, we got snow breaking out into Pennsylvania. I think that only intensifies as we get into the morning hours on your Wednesday morning, about 9 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, we've got heavier snow, light to moderate snow back here into portions of Ohio, but all snow into Pennsylvania, going to North Jersey here, into Long Island, back into Connecticut, along the Cape here, getting into Rhode Island as well. With this to the south of there, it's just all rain. And as we extend the view until 5 o'clock, I do think this is going to bring just kind of a burst of snow all day long in and around the northeast. So yes, by the time we get into that 5 o'clock time frame, that snow is still going to be locked over portions of eastern Pennsylvania, south New York here, still going to transferring out of Long Island, getting more into play into Massachusetts, into Vermont and New Hampshire, back into the south of Maine here, as this will continue to extend off into the northeast. And there's that kind of the feeder band on the south side with those showers impacting the Florida peninsula, the Florida panhandle by then, into portions of South Georgia here, into South Carolina, as well as along the coast into North Carolina. So as we go into your Thursday morning time frame, about 6 o'clock we're going to be looking at some Arctic air masses going to be coming from the north. So yeah, we're going to be looking at some much colder air coming back into play for March standards. So as it taps into that energy, we've got snow breaking out into Nebraska, getting into Kansas, into parts of Iowa again with that rain shield down to the south. You're still in the warm sector down here in the southeast. And yes, we could be looking at some heavier, if not flooding rains by the time we get into your Thursday morning time frame into parts of Georgia here along the Carolina coast here as that system will move across. And let's take a look at the overall temperatures. Let's take a look at the western part of the U.S. as that colder air mass starts to filter in. And you can definitely see we got widespread freezing temperatures as we wake up on your Thursday morning, March the 10th. There, widespread 20s along the Pacific Northwest. We've got all those below zero temperatures. That's kind of an indication on where some of the heavier snow will be flying over the next couple of days. So yes, by the time it hits that snowpack and that Arctic air filters back in the picture, yeah, those are some well below average temperatures and below zero temperatures, as well as those single digits will extending back into Colorado. We've got widespread 20s into portions of Arizona as well as New Mexico. Those 20s enter the Texas panhandle. So that's kind of the leading edge of the Arctic air that's plunging southward. I mean, this Arctic air typically travels a lot faster than what the models have. That's why I like the NAM and the short range, because they typically see these Arctic air masses a little bit better than some of the global guidance. It's very shallow, it's very dense, it travels fast, it sinks to the surface. And that's exactly what's going to happen again with this Arctic air mass. Yes, we're talking about Arctic air still for the second week of March, but that's what's coming. I mean, it's definitely coming in a big way. And we extend to the East Coast, and it hasn't, that Arctic air is not going to be in the picture as of yet. So we still got, freezing temperatures up here into the portions of the Northeast, but yeah, well to the south and to the southeast here, we got widespread 40s and 50s for low temperatures, and widespread upper 60s and 70s for Florida. And then let's kind of break this down. So let's take a look at the overall setup as we get into that Thursday time frame. So here's the kind of the 500 millibar vorticity models. You can kind of see these two pieces of energy that we're kind of working with as we get into your Thursday time frame. Here's this little spin action, right? So the closer the isobars are, that's the very high wind. So that's an indication. That's definitely some Arctic air plunging southward. At the same time, we have another kind of a upper level low that's going to be back here off portions of Utah that's going to be bringing the snow. And we're watching these systems, and these systems are going to be more or less kind of merging together as we get deeper into that Friday time frame. So there's Friday afternoon, March the 11th. We've got this first piece of energy going to be diving southward into the upper Midwest. We've got this other southern branch that's actually going to bring some snow. Yes, snow back into places into Oklahoma and to portions of Texas. These systems will be merging together as we get into your Friday afternoon, into your Saturday time frame. And as they do, they're going to bring a lot of heavy snow. I mean, look how tight the isobars are with it as well. I mean, you got that great northwest flow here, plunging the Arctic air further south, and it's going to bring a lot of snow in its path. And especially as you get up to the East Coast and into the Ohio Valley, into the East Coast this weekend, as we get into your late Saturday afternoon time frame. So let's break this back down to you on the overall surface map. As we get into that, that Thursday 3 o'clock time frame, there's the snow, kind of the leading edge of that Arctic air is going to be breaking out into Colorado, getting back into portions of New Mexico here, into portions of Nebraska, as well as Kansas, Missouri as well. We've still in the warm sector for much of Oklahoma and much of Texas, and obviously much of the southeast. There's the heavier rain will still be inundating Florida. So Florida definitely be on the lookout for a lot of rain over the next several days to come, as these systems just kind of train over the same area. And as we get into your 6 o'clock in the morning Friday time frame for March the 11th here, there's the there's the Arctic high pressure. I mean, that's 1044, guys. That's some serious cold air plunging southward for, March the 11th standards. But yeah, it's going to bring snow. I mean, we got snow coming back into New Mexico. It's going to reach the Texas panhandle by then. Yes, we got snow breaking out in Oklahoma, much of Missouri as this continues to plunge further southeast. And I do feel it's not out of the question this snowpack could be a little bit further south than what you're seeing right now. Again, the NAM doesn't reach out this far. So this is the GFS, and I picked the GFS because it does, kind of proved itself over the last several storms, and especially for winter. And this is a shallow air mass. So we got to be, what we're dealing with here. This is a very shallow air mass, and these global guidance models really can't pick on the true impact of what this Arctic air is going to bring. So yes, it could be a little bit further south than what this actually, which is what it's displaying. And I definitely agree that it's going to be a little bit further south as we get, closer, within that time frame. But there's the low pressure down here into South Texas. We've got the Arctic air in place, and it's going to cause that overrunning conditions. And as it does, it's going to bring the snow with it. So temperatures should be freezing by then. There's your overall temperatures by the time we get into that 9 o'clock in the morning time frame. All these teens and 20s, and if not single digits to the north. There's your leading edge of that Arctic air plunging all the way down into central Texas. So it's got plenty of colder air mass to work with as that disturbance moves across. So as it does, that snow and mixed precipitation is going to fall within the Arctic air, and it should produce kind of a light rain shower in portions of North Texas, and then transferring over to kind of a mixed precipitation, getting into all snow as we get into the afternoon. But yes, there's the leading edge as 9 o'clock in the morning time frame on Friday, where the Arctic air should be by then with that disturbance moving across. So there's the setup on the surface map. So the snow will be able to lift within that Arctic air, causing that overrunning conditions. The light to moderate snow should be breaking out by then into Oklahoma, into Missouri, into portions of Illinois, as well as Indiana. And as we extend the view getting into the afternoon hours, I think if you live basically north of the I-20 corridor in and around the Dallas-Worth area, you should be getting kind of a mixed precipitation and a light, if not almost moderate snow at times. And then southeastern Oklahoma, and then portions, good chunk of Arkansas is going to be impacted from this setup as the low pressure systems to the south. So you got that 1032 Arctic high pressure from the northwest, you got the northwest flow, you got a lot of lift. So as it does, yeah, it's not out of the question. Even portions of North Louisiana could see some of those snow showers as it continues to move across, because as it does, it's bringing that Arctic air with it. It's going to still have that overrunning conditions. And yeah, that's going to be leaving Louisiana by the time we wake up on Saturday morning, March the 12th. But that's just going to be shifting off into places into Mississippi, into Alabama, into Tennessee, into Kentucky. There's the darker blues. That's an indication of where the heavier snow will be flying by then into portions of the Ohio Valley, getting into western PA, and then to the south, you got all the heavier rain lifting up the coast. That's why I was like, the Florida Panhandle is going to be inundated with some very heavy rain over the coming days, and a good chunk of the southeast. You really don't get too much in the Arctic air if you live deeper into the southeast. To the north of there, yes, that's where you're going to be impacted with the Arctic air. But I mean, it's March the 12th, guys. I mean, this is not unheard of to talk about snow deep for the portions of the southeast, but it has happened. But this is probably going to be your last gasp of winter, especially if you live in the southeast, for any chance of snow for the rest of the winter time, because it's, you got the sun angle, and it's just every day the temperature gets a little bit warmer. So the odds of that happening again are really kind of slim to none. So and especially as we get into next week, I see a rapid warm up. So You know, so for the ones that are kind of over the snow and don't really want the snow anymore, you're gonna be in luck, especially if you live further south, because you know, we get deeper into March, and it gets definitely a lot harder as we get deeper into March to see some of that snow. But yeah, the snow should be locked and loaded over the Ohio Valley into the Northeast. There's your 6 o'clock in you know, evening time frame on your Saturday. Red snow breaking out big time into the Ohio Valley, over Pennsylvania, upstate New York, into DC, into places into Jersey, getting portions into Long Island again. You know, along the port, you know, portions of the I-95 corridor, but this will be extended into Vermont and New Hampshire. As these double barrel low pressures will be off the East Coast, and as these continue to push off to the east, it's going to have some of that wraparound precipitation along with it. So you should be seeing kind of sporadic snow showers kind of left over by then. And then we have yet another system that's going to be impacting the Pacific Northwest, with rain coming back into play, and then snow coming back in the picture up in the higher elevations, as we're going to be start moderating. Again, it's a shallow cold air mass, so it's a quick hit for 1 or 2 days, and then as that moves across and you start to dry out, start to warm up down here in the south, as that southwest wind comes back into play. But there's your temperatures as we get into Sunday morning, March the 13th at 7 a.m. There it is. I mean, we got plenty of cold air that's going to be diving from the north to the south, and this will push east as we get deeper into the weekend. And then, yeah, look at where the colder temperatures will be. That's almost an indication where some of the snow is going to be flying as well, or at least going to be accumulating snow. So that's definitely an indication where you could have a little bit of a snowpack on the ground, which that's going to help lower the temperatures, you know, another 5 to 10 degrees. So you could be really cold stuff by the time we get into your Sunday morning time frame. And look at the southeast. You're not done with winter. You got widespread 20s all the way down to the coastline. Even in the Florida Panhandle, numerous freezing conditions for Florida. Even portions of Central Florida might even touch on freezing conditions by the time we get into Sunday morning. So hey, I appreciate you guys watching. Do like this video and definitely hit the subscribe button. Catch me in the next update where I protect you before and after the storm.